Have you ever thought about visiting the only country where intimate relationships were once part of a fake news story about being a national sport? And what if I told you that this same place is famous for having the most stunning women in Europe, and it is home to the largest ice hotel in the world? Not to mention that in one of its cities, nearly swallowed by the earth, architecture and culture blend together in a unique atmosphere. These curiosities are just the beginning of all you can discover in this fascinating country, Sweden. This is where Alfred Nobel, the inventor of the famous Nobel Prizes, was born. But that's not all. In Swedish lands, marriage can be as risky as taking a dose of poison, and every Saturday is an official day for indulging in sweets. Want to know more? Wait until you see the exclusive video that reveals all of this and much more about the peculiarities of Sweden. After learning about them, you'll want to pack your bags. Although it's known as one of the most expensive countries in the world, I'll let you in on a secret. There's a way to sleep for free there. But be cautious, because the moose, the symbol of local wildlife, is also the most dangerous animal in Sweden. And when driving along Swedish roads, pay attention to the signs. They not only indicate the presence of moose, but also tell you that the country has gone from being one of the safest in the world to one of the most dangerous in Europe in recent years. Ready to embark on this adventure? Located on the Scandinavian peninsula in northern Europe, Sweden borders Norway to the west, Finland to the east, and is bordered by the Baltic Sea to the south. With a land area of nearly 450,000 square kilometers, it is the third largest country in the European Union. Despite its impressive size, its population is under 10 million, making it one of the least densely populated countries on the continent. This also means that Sweden preserves vast natural areas, enhancing its reputation as one of the most beautiful countries in Europe. One of the most charming tourist spots is the Stockholm archipelago, with its thousands of islands scattered along the eastern coast. Picture colorful little houses, crystal clear waters, and a postcard-like landscape where you can explore small islands, practice water sports, or simply relax amidst nature. If you're an adventure lover, you can't miss Lapland, in the extreme north of the country, where dense forests, majestic mountains, and Arctic tundras create a unique setting. There, you can go on reindeer safaris, witness the stunning northern lights, and ride sleds pulled by huskies. It's a true natural paradise. But be warned, Lapland is also home to moose, which, while beautiful, can be dangerous. During the fall mating season, they become more aggressive and may attack if they feel threatened. Swedish rural roads are also risky, with frequent accidents involving moose. This wild nature, combined with the preservation of traditions, is also reflected in the appearance of the Swedish people. Swedish men and women are known as some of the most beautiful in Europe and the world, with historical and cultural influences that are even reflected in their genetics. Many carry Viking heritage, which is still a source of national pride. The Vikings, ancient seafarers and warriors of Scandinavia, left a deep mark on Sweden's history and culture, influencing the appearance of its people even today. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and an impressive physical structure are characteristics associated with this heritage, making Swedes some of the most attractive people in Europe. But it's not just genetics that explains their beauty. Other factors contribute to this reputation. Health consciousness, an active lifestyle, and attention to well-being are common practices among Swedes. Moreover, gender equality and respect for the environment are part of daily life, reflecting in both their appearance and way of life. Sweden is widely known for its high quality of life, its social welfare model, and its strong commitment to sustainability. However, something has been changing in recent years. The country, which was once one of the safest, is now among the places with the most gun violence in all of Europe. Curious, right? A large portion of Sweden's population is concentrated in big cities like Stockholm, Gothenburg, and Malmö, while vast areas in the north remain nearly uninhabited, helping to preserve the untouched beauty of its natural landscapes. Swedish geography is dominated by large forests, crystal-clear lakes, and rugged coastlines, while the mountainous regions in the north, like the Scandinavian mountain range, contain the country's highest peak, Mount Kebnekaise. In the central and southern parts, vast plains and fertile lands spread out, interspersed with thousands of rivers and lakes, creating postcard-worthy landscapes. One of the most fascinating places in Sweden is the charming city of Kiruna, located near the Arctic Circle. It seems like a city out of a fairy tale, But the reality there has been quite different in recent years. Kiruna was literally sinking. Home to the world's largest iron mine, the city was at risk of being completely swallowed by the earth, as the underground tunnels of the mine weakened its foundations. The cracks that appeared in the houses and the ground were clear evidence of this imminent threat. In response, the government offered 3 options to the residents: move to a different house, transport their houses by truck, or purchase a new home with a 25% discount from the market price. As a result, about 3,500 homes were demolished to make way for a new city, now just 150 kilometers from the North Pole. The relocation of Kiruna also affected the famous Kiruna Ice Hotel, the largest ice hotel in the world, covering over 5,500 square meters. This hotel, entirely made of ice and snow, is rebuilt every year, as its structure melts during the summer. The Kiruna Ice Hotel is located in Jukkasjärvi, in northern Sweden, offering a unique lodging experience. But if you want to sleep in its ice rooms, be prepared for temperatures as low as -5 degrees Celsius. To ensure comfort, guests sleep in special sleeping bags, and in the morning, they are woken up with invigorating hot juice. Here's a tip. It's worth combining a cold night at the ice hotel with a warmer night in one of the wooden chalets available on site. In addition to the famous ice hotel, Sweden is also home to the curious Jumbo Stay, a hotel inside a Boeing 747 parked at Stockholm Arlanda Airport. Ideal for aviation enthusiasts, this hotel offers a unique experience for those who want to spend the night aboard a plane without leaving the ground. At Jumbo Stay, you can experience the unique opportunity of staying in rooms adapted from the former passenger cabin of a real Boeing. Sleeping in a plane that never leaves the ground is just one of many unusual lodging options in Sweden, a country that was long considered a model for social welfare. However, this reality has undergone significant changes in recent years. Sweden, which was once known as one of the safest and most stable countries in the world, is now facing a worrying increase in gun violence. The country, which once set the standard for political stability and effective governance, now stands out negatively as it ranks second in Europe for firearm-related deaths. Several factors contribute to this drastic change, including the difficulties of integrating a rapidly growing immigrant population, which now represents 1/5 of Sweden's population. This group often lives in segregated areas, where a lack of opportunities and distrust in the financial system has created fertile ground for the rise of criminal gangs. These gangs, which clash with each other and with law enforcement, profit from drug sales, thus fueling the demand for weapons and intensifying violence. Nevertheless, Sweden remains a country with high living standards, and tourists who stay away from criminal activities are unlikely to encounter problems while visiting. This growing violence has made immigration and social inclusion policies central topics in Swedish politics, with the aim of restoring quality of life and maintaining the country as a safe and prosperous place. Despite these challenges, Sweden's quality of life remains high, partly because it is one of the few countries where overtime is virtually non-existent. In Sweden, respecting personal time is sacred. Most companies have automatic systems that, at the end of the workday, send out automatic replies indicating that the workday is over and will resume the following day. Additionally, leisure is so highly valued that there is even a national day for eating sweets, a peculiar tradition that takes place every Saturday. Curiously, this tradition, known as Lördag godis, Saturday candy, emerged after a Swedish government study in the 1940s that investigated the impacts of sugar consumption on physical and mental health. The result was that excessive candy consumption was harmful to teeth, and thus the idea was born to reserve one day a week for this indulgence. Since then, Swedes have made it a custom to visit specialized candy stores or supermarkets on Saturdays, where they choose a variety of sweets ranging from chocolates to gummies, candies, and chewing gum. Living in Sweden, however, can be expensive. The cost of living is one of the highest in Europe, with mid-range hotel prices hovering around €150 per night. Rent is also steep, and in cities like Stockholm and Gothenburg, renting a one-bedroom apartment in the city center can easily exceed €1,000 per month. But for adventurous travelers who love saving money and being in touch with nature, Sweden offers a unique solution. There is a law called allemansrätten, the right of public access, that allows anyone to camp freely in nature without paying, as long as they respect the environment and follow a few rules, such as not camping on private land or damaging vegetation. This law allows you to sleep for free outdoors in several public areas of the country, making Sweden an accessible destination for those who enjoy outdoor life. If you love nature and want to explore Sweden without spending much on lodging, there's an incredible opportunity. The freedom to camp in stunning locations without spending a penny. Through its Allemansrätten law, Sweden allows you to enjoy this experience without financial concerns. It's the perfect chance to immerse yourself in the country's breathtaking landscapes and experience the freedom of being outdoors, something few nations offer in this way. Despite the challenges that arise, such as rising crime rates, Sweden continues to stand out for its progressive and innovative policies. One example of this is the Curator's Office Sweden project, where ordinary citizens have the opportunity to manage the country's official Twitter account, now known as X. Through this initiative, they can share their experiences and perspectives with the world, showcasing the diversity and cultural richness of Sweden directly through the voice of its people. Sweden's commitment to collective well-being and citizen participation in public matters is a hallmark of the country. It's the people's opinions that help this channel keep delivering fresh, unfiltered content. We love having you here, so thank you for following us. Recently, along with South Korea, Sweden was recognized as one of the most innovative nations on the planet, according to an index that evaluates factors like the concentration of tech companies, the number of graduates in science and engineering, and the number of patents registered. This focus on innovation helps explain why major global companies like IKEA, Ericsson, and Spotify originated in Sweden. For example, Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of IKEA, was a prominent figure in the global business scene and was even the richest person in the world for a few years. This success is the result of a combination of educational policies focused on science and engineering, along with strong support for research and development, creating the ideal environment for innovation to thrive. Swedish excellence is also embodied by iconic figures such as Alfred Nobel, the creator of the prestigious Nobel Prizes, which celebrate extraordinary achievements in fields like physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, and peace. Born in 1833 in Stockholm, Nobel was an inventor, engineer, and businessman, best known for his invention of dynamite, a technology that revolutionized the mining and construction industries but also found its use in warfare. Sweden, with its blend of natural beauty, innovation, and history, continues to captivate the world, whether through its curiosities and traditions or its significant contributions to science and global progress. In his will, Alfred Nobel left the majority of his vast fortune to create the Nobel Prizes, a tribute to those who made extraordinary contributions in areas such as physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, and, of course, in the promotion of peace. It is possible that the peace category was created as a way to mitigate the darker legacy of his most famous invention, dynamite. The first Nobel Prize ceremony took place in 1901, 5 years after Nobel's death, following his instructions precisely. The fact that the Nobel Prizes are awarded in Sweden reinforces the unique qualities of this country in encouraging excellence, creativity, and progress in various fields. Speaking of unique traits, the Swedish winter offers a singular experience for adventurers. The famous ice roads, ice paths that form over frozen lakes and rivers in the far north of the country, are formed when temperatures drop drastically, sometimes reaching -30 degrees Celsius or even lower. These icy routes become real highways for cars and trucks, providing an exciting challenge for those brave enough to cross them. These frozen roads can take you to incredible destinations like Abisko, one of the most popular places in Sweden for viewing the magical northern lights. Located in the far north of the country, Abisko is also one of the coldest places on Earth, with temperatures that can fall below -40 degrees Celsius in winter. This region is at a latitude similar to that of Siberia, famous for being the coldest inhabited city on the planet. Due to its remote, sparsely populated nature and low light pollution, Abisko offers the ideal conditions to observe the spectacular northern lights. The best time to experience this phenomenon is between September and March, when the nights are longer and darker. You can join an organized tour or venture out on your own to seek out the illuminated skies, diving into an even more magical experience. One of the best observation points in Abisko is the Aurora Sky Station, an elevated platform offering panoramic views of the night sky, providing a breathtaking spectacle. Here are some strange facts about Sweden. Have you ever wondered what makes Sweden such a fascinating and unique place? Let's explore some of the country's most curious and even bizarre traditions and customs that live in a balance between the old and the modern. Get ready to discover 9 surprising facts about Sweden. Blood donors receive SMS when their blood is used. Donating blood is not just an act of solidarity. It's also a process that connects the donor to the impact of their donation. Whenever donated blood is used in a transfusion, the donor receives an SMS. Imagine getting a ping on your phone with a message saying your blood has just saved a life. It's an initiative that truly encourages Swedes to continue donating in a country where public health is taken seriously. The right of public access. In Sweden, nature belongs to everyone. With the allemansrätten, or the right of public access, anyone can explore forests, swim in lakes, pick wild fruits, and even camp on private land without needing permission. But with this right comes a duty. Visitors must take care of the environment, not leave trash, and respect nature. This tradition is a source of national pride and is deeply ingrained in Swedish culture, reinforcing the connection to nature and respect for the environment. The Swedish fika, coffee break. Swedes take their coffee tradition very seriously. In fact, there's a special word for it: fika. It's a coffee break, usually accompanied by a sweet bun, and it's almost a rule in Sweden. But fika isn't just about the coffee. It's a moment to relax, socialize, and slow down, which is essential in a country where the balance between personal and professional life is highly valued. Interestingly, Sweden is one of the world's biggest coffee consumers, with more than 8 kilograms consumed per person each year. Baby name law. The Swedish government takes its citizens' names seriously, starting with newborns. There are strict rules about what kind of name can be registered, meaning some names considered inappropriate or strange are rejected. Names like Metallica, Superman, and even an attempt to name a baby BRF number 1 were denied. Authorities argue that names should preserve the dignity and personality of the child, potentially avoiding future embarrassment. Surströmming, the world's smelliest fermented fish. Swedish cuisine has its oddities, and nothing compares to surströmming, the famous fermented fish from Sweden. The smell is so strong and pungent that many people prefer to open the can outdoors to avoid stinking up the place. Surströmming is a fermented herring traditionally made in the north of the country, and it is known to be one of the most foul-smelling foods in the world. Many Swedes admit to avoiding it, but there is even an annual festival for those who are true fans of this unique dish. Microchip implants. If you think the future is far off, Sweden is here to show you that it's already arrived. Around 300,000 Swedes have microchip implants under their skin that can be used to open doors, pay bills, access personal information, and even replace transport cards. Sweden is at the forefront of this technology, which seems straight out of a sci-fi movie but is practical for everyday life. Cinnamon Bun Day. Sweden's passion for cinnamon buns is so great that the country has a holiday dedicated to it. On October 4th, Kanelbulens Dag, Cinnamon Bun Day, celebrates this beloved treat. On this day, bakeries and cafes across the country sell these sweet, doughy buns, and people indulge in one of Sweden's most traditional desserts. It's one of the national passions and a symbol of Swedish cuisine. The lagom culture, not too much, not too little. Finally, we have the concept of lagom, which doesn't have an exact translation but means something like not too much, not too little, just enough. This lifestyle is followed by Swedes in everything, from work to finances, from social life to leisure time. Lagom reflects balance and moderation and is one of the secrets behind Sweden's high quality of life and low stress levels. For Swedes, living well means living in balance. Curious and bizarre facts about women in Sweden. One more interesting and somewhat bizarre fact about women in Sweden is that at the end of the 19th century, they were already allowed to study and even work in some sectors, but there were curious restrictions on physical activities. For example, in 1920, Swedish authorities prohibited women from participating in marathons, claiming that running long distances could affect women's health and interfere with their role as mothers. Additionally, Sweden was one of the first countries to introduce extensive support programs for working mothers. Today, the country offers one of the most generous maternity leave policies in the world, with up to 480 days of paid leave that can be shared between the mother and father. Sweden truly combines the traditional with the modern, the cold with human warmth, and continues to surprise with every detail. Which of these curiosities did you find the most bizarre? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you so much. Want to be part of more journeys full of discoveries, fun, and content that will surprise you? Subscribe to our channel by clicking here, and see you in the next video.